Hi, this is Derek Murphy from creativity.com. In November of 2016, I'm going to rent a castle to write my book for Nanowrimo, and I'm inviting some other authors to come and join me. I want to tell you a little bit about how that's going to work. Firstly, I've wanted to publish fiction for maybe 10 years. I have a lot of stories or ideas, but I never finished anything. And actually, I never even wrote that much because I learned like this year when I wrote full time for the first time, you don't really learn how to write unless you really do it a lot. They say it takes like 1,000,000 words to kind of get your head around writing fiction. But for any kind of book that you want to write, it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of time. You have to sit down. You have to put it in. It has to be a priority. And that's why in 2015, I kind of stopped working on most of my other projects and I really committed to writing and publishing my own books. I published a lot of nonfiction before. I've worked with authors for the last 10 years, publishing and designing and marketing books. So I'm very good at the book production and visibility, getting readers, selling and marketing. But I didn't have the experience to write and market fiction yet, which I was excited about because I have a lot of ideas for marketing fiction, but people don't necessarily listen to me because they say, oh, but you're just a nonfiction writer, or what do you know about it? Now that I'm writing fiction successfully, I have a lot more to offer, and I also understand a lot more about the writing process. And the reason I want to make a writer's retreat, basically. For one, I want to live in a castle. I think every writer wants and dreams to live in a castle. But also, I think you need to commit to something long-term and make it a priority. So like when you say, I'm going to rent a castle for a month and finish a book in a castle in that month, you're really committing to getting the work done. Also, not only is it kind of a beautiful, inspiring environment, it's also just being around other people who are serious about writing books, because it's difficult to be in your normal, your job or your family and your normal life and try to write a book, because nobody really gets it. Nobody gets when you sit in front of a computer for 5 hours a day for 3 months. They don't get what you're doing. They can't really appreciate all the frustrations and challenges that you're going through, or offer you much support. And if you want to finish the work, you need a lot of support, you need a lot of feedback, and it helps to be an environment of people who are doing the same thing. So for my businesses, I learned like the last couple of years, I've spent a lot of time putting myself in situations or environments where the people around me are better at what I want to do than I am. Because I know if I want to learn something, I need to be inspired by people who have done it, who are more successful at it, who have already been there. I need to be around those people because that's how I'll get to be the kind of person that I want to be. And so my dream of kind of was actually to buy a castle, which is a different topic, but I plan to buy a castle when my platform gets big enough and use it as a writer's retreat where I can invite people to come and write books. I have a lot to offer in terms of book production, book design, book marketing, but I also am really good at customizing and catering a very special experience for people. I've done events and groups. I've managed like summer camps. I've written curriculum. I've managed staff. I've done similar kinds of things before. Castle, of course, is on a greater scale, but actually much less people than I'm used to dealing with. There will be about 10 or 15 people sharing castle, and we'll all be basically working on our own book. Anybody is invited to come, but you've got to be writing a book, and I hope that you'll finish the book in the month so that I can help you to design and produce it and market it, so that you get enough value out of it. If you want to be a writer or you have some ideas or you're thinking about being a writer, that's fine also, and I can help you to get the work done, but I hope I can help you publish a book that will be successful. I think that's kind of the difference between what I hope to do in most writing retreats, is that most writing retreats focus on the art of writing. So they focus on inspiration and maybe motivation, but they're usually much shorter, like a weekend or a week, and you can't get very much done in a week, even if you're working really hard. What I want to do is, if you come to the castle, I'll actually work with you months in advance to help you plan out the book, get an organized outline, a map, so that when you come, you can just bust it out. You can just sit down, write. We'll have kind of scheduled writing sessions. We'll do fun events and tours and look at other castles in the area and stuff too. The castles we're looking at are all in France, so we'll probably be in France. But I don't want people to come who are going to spend a lot of money to come and then end up with a book that's not going to be successful. It's okay if that's what you want to do, or if this is the book that you want to write. I'll help you do it. I'll help you do as great a job of it as possible. I'll design it well, and I'll help you market it. But I would also hope you're open to writing a book that's going to sell, or writing the type of book that's going to help you to transition into a full-time author where you can actually write to make a living rather than just write as a hobby. And so there's more details on the page. You can ask me any questions that you want. This is the first time I've done this project, which is renting a castle and sharing it with other authors. It's kind of a big deal. And I know it's kind of scary to commit to something that's so far in the future because it's next November, but I do need to book a castle soon so that everything is set up. Because if I'm renting it for the whole month of November for Nanowrimo, so if somebody else books the castle for like a weekend, then we couldn't get it. So I've got to book really early. But it's fun. We've already got 5 people coming. Several best-selling authors in different genres are on the board or thinking about it. A couple of historical romance, a lot of young adult fantasy authors, which is kind of what I write also. But if you want to write nonfiction or other kinds of fiction, that's fine. I've experienced designing and marketing books in every genre. So feel free to look around. Email me if you have any questions. But I'm just putting this out there kind of to get started. Next year, we'll probably raise the prices and I won't offer as much. I'm offering a lot of free services and bonuses because it's my first time doing this, and I want to make sure that the offer is kind of insanely valuable. Next year, it won't be quite as good, but I'll also have a lot more testimonials and videos and pictures and stuff that'll make it'll be easier to convince people to come and, trust me that I can run this thing. I'm excited about it. This whole year will basically be building up to the castle thing. So I plan to publish 10 novels this year. And I'm doing some kind of high-level guerrilla book marketing experiments that nobody else is doing yet. So I'll have a lot to talk about and a lot of experience writing and marketing by next November. Thanks, and I hope to see you there.